Ladies and gentlemen, let me begin by asking a powerful question. A question that has changed lives, fueled revolutions, and awakened greatness. Why not you? Why shouldn't you be the one to lead, to create, to rise above the noise? Why not you? To break the cycle, to lift your family, to make history? Think about it. Every person who's ever done something extraordinary faced a moment of doubt. They were told, "You're not ready, you're not qualified, or people like you don't succeed." But they pushed through, not because they had all the answers, but because they dared to ask, "Why not me?" Maybe you've been waiting for the right time, the right opportunity, the right signal. But let me tell you something. You are the signal. You are the opportunity. Now is the time. There are people in this world who are less talented, less experienced, and had fewer resources than you. But they made it because they decided to try. They stopped asking, "Can I?" and started asking, "Why not me?" You have a dream, you have a voice, you have power, and the world is waiting for what only you can bring. So the next time fear whispers, "You're not enough," look it in the eye and shout back, "Why not me?" Because if not you, then who? If not now, then when? Everybody wants to become something. Everybody hopes to rise above average, to live a life that means something, to do work that leaves a mark. And yet, many hold back not because they lack talent or effort, but because they believe others were born with something special, some secret gift they never received. It's the illusion that greatness belongs to those who started with more, who had connections, support, money, or luck. But every person who ever did something remarkable started somewhere uncertain, somewhere small, somewhere full of doubt. The difference wasn't where they began, but that they began at all. The seed of success is not in where you were planted, but in the decision to grow anyway. When people look at others who have achieved something significant, they often see the highlight reel, the awards, the applause, the final product, but they miss the invisible hours, the struggle, the fear, the moments when quitting would have been so much easier than pushing forward. There's a strange belief that the beginning has to feel perfect, that you need to feel confident before taking the first step, that clarity must come before action. But clarity is often the result of action, not the prerequisite for it. The first steps are usually clumsy. The first attempt rarely looks like the final version. And that's not failure. That's how everything worth doing actually begins. There is no artist whose first painting was a masterpiece. There is no speaker who wasn't terrified before stepping on a stage for the first time. There is no builder who never broke a board or bent a nail. Beginning is not about being ready. It's about being willing. People wait too long for permission. Permission from the world, from friends, from family, from someone to say, "Yes, you're good enough to start." But the truth is, no one's coming, and no one needs to. The only permission required is the one you give yourself. The courage. To begin doesn't show up all at once. It shows up in small decisions. The decision to try, to show up, to keep going when you're not sure if it's working. The moment you begin, you've already separated yourself from the majority. Most never start. They prepare. They plan. They wait for a moment that never comes. Starting small is not a weakness. It's wisdom. Small steps build momentum, and momentum builds confidence. Confidence then fuels growth. That's the cycle. You don't wake up one day and feel suddenly qualified. You earn that feeling over time, by starting, by stumbling, by learning on the go. And each misstep becomes part of your foundation. People who succeed aren't necessarily the most gifted. They're the ones who kept going when it would have been easier to stop. It's important to realize that the gap between you and the person you admire isn't as wide as you think. What separates most people isn't talent, it's action. Doing the thing over and over long after the novelty wears off. The uncomfortable truth is, your heroes weren't ready either. They just got tired of waiting for the perfect conditions. And once they began, they discovered they were capable of more than they imagined. But that only happened after they were willing to begin without knowing where it would lead. Everyone starts with fear. Everyone starts with doubt. The difference is, some people let those emotions dictate their choices, and others learn to walk with them. Fear doesn't disappear. It just loses its grip when you stop obeying it. Action is the only thing that softens fear's voice. The more you do, the more you realize fear is often an exaggerator, not a prophet. It tells stories that never come true. It paints pictures of failure that never happen. But you'll only learn that once you take the first few steps, trembling or not. The idea that obstacles are bad is one of the most limiting beliefs in personal growth. Challenges are often misread as signs that you're not supposed to be on this path, as if struggle means stop. But struggle is the price of transformation. There is no progress without resistance. Just like muscles grow through tension and resistance, so does character, skill, and vision. Every great story has conflict, and yours will too. The question is whether you'll see the obstacle as a wall or as a doorway. Some of the best breakthroughs come dressed as setbacks. What you see as a dead end might simply be a detour that leads to better alignment, stronger clarity, or deeper grit. Difficulty introduces you to parts of yourself you didn't know existed. You learn resourcefulness when plans fall apart. You discover patience when timelines stretch. You gain resilience when the outcome doesn't match the effort, yet you show up again anyway. Most people want growth without discomfort, but the two are inseparable. Obstacles stretch your limits. They teach you what you're made of. And sometimes, the purpose of the problem isn't to stop you, it's to prepare you, to refine your character, to help you outgrow your excuses, to bring forward the version of you that the easy path never could. The obstacle forces a choice. Either shrink back or rise up. Every challenge comes with that invitation. Some look at the challenge and say, I guess it's not meant to be. Others say, I'll find a way or I'll make one. And over time, it's not the scale of the obstacle that matters, but the response to it. Two people can face the same difficulty. One gives up and one grows up. The difference isn't the problem. It's the mindset behind it. When things get hard, it's tempting to think you're alone in the struggle. But you're not. Everyone who's ever tried to build something meaningful has felt discouraged. Everyone has failed. Everyone has faced critics, doubters, and delays. What matters isn't whether those things happen. They will. What matters is whether you allow them to define you, or whether you decide that what's ahead is worth pushing through. Sometimes the obstacle is self-doubt. Sometimes it's lack of support. Sometimes it's unexpected failure. But in each case, the obstacle has a hidden gift, the chance to learn, to adapt, to grow. Pain sharpens focus. Disappointment deepens hunger. Resistance reveals how bad you want it. And once you've faced a few of those trials, you begin to understand that obstacles aren't there to destroy you. They're there to shape you. Nothing worth building will ever come without moments of challenge. But in each moment, you get to ask, is this the end, or is this the beginning of a new level of growth? Is this the reason to stop, or the reason to dig deeper? Obstacles test your commitment, your discipline, your faith in the vision. And if the vision truly matters, then you'll find a way to move forward. Not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. Starting from uncertainty, facing resistance. These aren't signs that something is wrong. They are signs that you are exactly where you need to be. Growth doesn't come in the comfort zone. It comes in the fire of effort, in the middle of confusion, in the face of fear. You don't need a perfect path. You just need the courage to walk the imperfect one. And once you do, you'll see that each step reveals a little more strength, a little more clarity, and a lot more potential than you ever thought possible.